Hey, welcome back to R1 TV. I'm Ron McCarrick, and I'm gonna be your host, I guess. Give me about 10 minutes of your time, and let me tell you what my plan is for National Novel Writing Month 2014. This time around, I plan on winning, which means, of course, I will hit the 50,000 word mark, because it's been a lot of years, and my wife is threatening to do great bodily harm to me if I don't. So, with the help of Lady Ronn, we're going to do this thing. This year, I again have enlisted the aid of my friend Doug to go on this little journey with me. It helps that we're both actually attempting to write a science fiction novel. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Ron, come on, science fiction? You don't write science fiction. Does science fiction even sell anymore? Do people buy science fiction? I don't know. I was just at the bookstore and it was all fantasy. It was all fantasy. Either fantasy or supernatural, which I guess is just fantasy now, as opposed to fantasy never when. I'm going to try science fiction, and I'm not going to write a hard science fiction book because I don't do science fiction. This is going to be science fiction not like Asimov wrote science Fiction, but like Lucas wrote science fiction. Think Star Wars. Star Wars meets, we're going with Lucas anyway. It's like Star Wars meets Indiana Jones. That's what's going to be. We're calling this one Starship Adventure. It's going to be a pretty straightforward adventure. I like Starship Adventure because it has a couple of different connotations. I'll let you figure those out. I'm not going to explain it to you. You're not an idiot. At this point, my plan is to have basic Starship Adventure, kind of based off any number of scenarios I ran through many, many years of role-playing games, wherein we take a spaceship and either as it's ramping up to light speed or slowing down from light speed, there's going to be an incident that's going to knock the Starship Adventure off course and into an unknown area, at least unknown to them. Once they reach that area, there's going to be an incident, by which I mean a fight, a spaceship battle, lasers, stuff exploding. Of course, the ship gets damaged. They're forced to crash, and of course they crash on a planet that they're unfamiliar with. There's going to be some incidents there. The goal, once they're on the planet, get that spaceship running and get it back into space. But there's going to be problems with that, and I haven't quite detailed what exactly those problems are, but I'm thinking one of them is going to be a, what do we want to say, a deadline. For example, I'm thinking the spaceship that they were fighting with, also not destroyed. Maybe it's just adrift in space and they're making repairs, and the Starship Adventure is on the planet making its own repairs. If they don't get their ship up and going, the ship in space is going to blast them off the face of the planet. So that'll be a thing. But once they're on the planet, they've got to acquire the parts or make the repairs to the Starship Adventure. And of course there will be difficulties. I don't know if that's going to take the form of aliens or monsters or environmental hazards. I haven't quite worked that out yet. There will be problems. Characters are going to die. I've narrowed some things down, and I'm willing to share them with you. Basically, the background is that because there's this tentative peace in the little quadrant of space that we're talking about, it's going to be bigger than the solar system, but we're not talking multiple galaxies. That's the scope of that is too much. During this period of peace or this uneasy truce, the corporations of human worlds, I guess, because there's at least a few of them, have taken it as an opportunity to mount expeditions and get their people out finding resources and finding ways to recoup the losses that they may have experienced during the wartime. And in the Starship Adventures case, we're talking about the Argent Delegation, which is a conglomeration of corporations working together on this exploratory mission. So what you're looking at is the Argent Delegation Exploratory Starship, which are all AD ships. Starship Adventure is going to be AD5. So if you use a Roman numeral, that's ADV. Kind of looks like Adventure. I thought it was clever, whatever. I'm thinking it starts off with a crew of 9. And I'm going to kind of carry this theme of 3 throughout, or at least I intend to. We have 3 races, and the crew is going to be broken down into 3 groups of 3. The initial 3 would, of course, be the ship's crew, captain, a pilot, and a technician or mechanic, whatever you want to call them. The second group of 3 will, of course, be the military attaché to this mission, which I'm calling it SAS, which is a little corporate slang for security, assertion, and safety team. So you're going to have your SAS lead and 2 SAS escorts, which would be, they're soldiers. They fight things because it's science fiction. You have to have guys with guns, or girls. I haven't decided yet. There's 3 of them now, and they all got guns. On the so we've got the ship's crew, we've got the military, and of course we have to have the corporate guys, the folks that are actually working for the company and determining what the company's interest might be in anything that they happen to discover that they could stamp their name on. So you've got the mission director, who's essentially going to be in charge of the whole thing. You've got a soft engineer and a firm engineer. So those are the 3. Soft is a little corporate slang for special organic forensic testing engineer. So that's your soft engineer. Your firm engineer is your forensic inorganic resource mining engineer. So you've got basically somebody on board for the rocks and somebody on board for the not rocks. Now, I got 9 characters, and I figure in order for me to make this work at anything that I'm even comfortable with, 4 of those characters are going to have to die. I think my primary character at this point, I don't have a name for him because it's going to be a him, is going to be the pilot. That's going to be our hero. So that's my plan at this point. I have been doing a little bit of research. Got some books on science fiction here. I'm not going to read them all because that'll be a lot of reading. But I am going to flip through them and see if I get any tips about writing science fiction that will help. I guess that's about it. That's what I'm working on. And, keep checking back and see how I'm doing. I'm out of here. Later.